Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we're doing another previews flip through, and this one actually got it came out like 3 days ago, so hopefully a lot of you haven't seen what is in here. This is the stuff in here is going to come out in October, and once again the due date will be towards the end of the month. If you see something you like, tell your local shop. And make sure to do it sooner rather than later so they can get it for you. Right off the bat here, I am excited and will be picking up the relaunch of The Mask. I haven't gotten a chance to read the original stuff that inspired the movie, but I'm definitely interested to see what this will be about. And they're doing a promo piece on Hickman's X-Men here. That looks like some little Francis Yu art. I haven't read mine yet, I've been pretty busy, so maybe there's some more Mr. Rogers stuff coming out. I shared with you all previously about my love for him growing up, so I'll have to check it out and see what it is. And they're showing off the free comics giveaway for the Comic Fest, which is on Halloween night or around Halloween. I know it's not in here, but there is a Batman Day every year. I think it's in the middle of September, if I remember. But shops will be giving away, and check with your local shop. It'll be a reprint of the Batman Who Laughs #1 one-shot. And if you collected the old ones, they had like little masks to wear of different Batmans. And there'll be a cutout one on the cover of that, if that's something you're interested in and want to collect that mask as well. Now we move into the image stuff. So it looks like Brian Heberlin has another independent book he's working on. He still has, what is it? Sola or something that he's doing right now. And so he's got another one coming out. He's, I would say one of the, he seems like he's always working on something, but he works on, digitally, like he's one of the premier digital artists and has been for a while. As this is a big deal here, the Chrononauts series is coming back. I know I read the original stuff. I believe it was Sean Gordon Murphy did it, if there's first 2 books of it. I really need to pick up Ascender and Descender too. I love Dustin Wynn's work. I hear Kill or Be Killed is pretty good too. Yeah, this one here. Oh no, that's not it. Never mind. But this is another good one from what I hear too. Need to pick that up. And then here, Ice Cream Man is a pretty good horror comic. I guess it's getting a show on one of the streaming services. And that's the one, Sonata. And I don't know how many issues it's having, but I think it's going on for a while. And of course, Spawn 302. Getting ready for the big 300 to be on the shelves here soon. There's the Mask book I mentioned earlier. It's a big deal too. Then Grindel is doing a new series. So here's some of the art for the Mask. Here's some of Grindel too. They're reprinting David Mack's Kabuki. If I remember, this was the first thing he ever did. It started as something he submitted for his college for like his final project or something like that. But it was way different than, how he does like here. It was a lot of like pen and ink work. And a lot of it seemed, it was still very like artistically laid out, but it had more of a standard kind of comic book feel, but with a heavy attention to layout. At least I believe that's the case if I'm remembering. It could have been another book he did, but I'm pretty sure it's Kabuki. I hope you all enjoyed my little Funko video I did on Tuesday. I'd like to do more. Oh, this looks cool here. Darth Vader's castle. I'd like to do more of those, but it's hard for me to figure out what's considered interesting. Like, even with that, like, that was a super short video. Because I was literally just sitting in line for hours, And then I went by myself too, so it wasn't like there was, me with my kids or anything to provide some extra dialogue. But I'm glad I was able to do a little something to show you guys I was there, and I got lucky enough to be first in line and all that. And then yesterday my friend, he took me to the Funko people. They recently bought the baseball field in the area, so now it's the Everett Aqua Sox, but it's known as Funko Field. Yesterday they were doing a Star Wars pop fig giveaway, but they were just commons and stuff. But it's the first game I've been to in that field, so that was really neat. And yeah, he took me out because it was my birthday on August 1st, so that was his present for me, was to take me to the game and, get me snacks and everything, so it's pretty cool. And then we got a little pop fig out of it too, so. Like they're showing off a lot of Vampirella this month. And you got some boys stuff here from the comic. The is it on Amazon, the show? I haven't watched it. Everyone really seems to enjoy it though. I'm sure it's heavy on violence and coarse language and all that though, so if that's not something you're into, you probably wouldn't like it, but what I hear, a lot of people are giving it good reviews. For me, it's hard to get into stuff that's just like blatantly violent and swearing and all that, but if the story is good enough, sometimes I'm able to overlook it, but if there's no substance beyond that, that's when I am less likely to enjoy something with that type of content in it. But we're all different. Everyone doesn't have to like the same type of things, But that's just me. So they're having an Augie and the Cockroach book, I guess. I remember watching this when I was a kid when they had it on Fox Kids TV. It says YouTube cartoon there though, so I don't know if they turned it into a YouTube show or not. But I remember it on there. And I remember the other show that they did, Space Goofs, I believe, was by the same animators as well. And that show I really enjoyed as a kid. But I haven't seen him in a long time. I always see stuff like the Goon in here, and I'm like, oh man, I really need to read that series, If only I had an infinite supply of money, Yeah, here's the Augie and the Cockroaches here. And I remember the cartoon, it was all silent, in the vein of like Tom and Jerry and stuff. Once again, let's plug the Previews Weekly show here. Go to their site, check it out. It's every Wednesday. And they give you brand new comic book news every week. Love the reference to Elvis's Jailhouse Rock there. I really like oldie music, which you would call it, I guess. Because my dad always listened to it when I was in the car and stuff, so I listen to it and think about those times. It's just fun, Even on Spotify, I've recently found, they have different stations for different decades, like all out 50s, 60s, 70s. And so it goes through all the decades, and everything in those playlists is specific for those decades. These are dynamic forces here. What do we have? Signed by Snyder, $50. Higgins, 40. Frank Miller, 300. It's a facsimile edition. Azzarello, $50. Kevin Nolan, 30. Colin Bunn, 40, or maybe 30. Greg Land. I don't know why they're charging so much for. Maybe there's a doodle on that one. 62, but the one next to it. No. Weird. I haven't seen Greg Land signed up that high. Peter David looks like 40 or 30. Another one, 20. Another Peter David, 20 or 40. I don't know which one the shops choose to go by. I think it's, if the first time you do it, it's here, like as a customer, but in the future they throw the higher one maybe. Since it says intro price, I don't know. Greg Horn. That's not signed by him though. So not too bad. Well, it looked interesting until I saw the price point, the definitive history of comics, film, and beyond for Batman. That's $75. This section's just a whole lot of obscure things here. Don't have a lot to say about it. I'm always interested in Tank Girl. I've never checked it out though. I know that the original creator was Jamie Hernandez. He did drawings for like the Gorillaz music group. And so that's where my focal point with him went, and then I went back and became aware of his work on Tank Girl. Then we enter the manga section here. Alright. I'm not sure the meeting here of these two. It's a cool cover for that. As you haven't noticed, I like watercolor stuff on occasion mixed in my comics. It just gives it a unique look, you know? But I would love to get those Zeros books to do a follow-up. Visual history of Dragon Ball. That might be cool. $35 too. That's not bad. I might actually pick that up and do a video of that on the channel here. Dragon Ball was definitely, very much a part of my childhood. A lot of people pan it, but it has inspired quite a few people, and has a good bit of action and stuff in it. What's funny is this image here, like years before Frieza was even on Dragon Ball Z. I had a friend, like, they got like imported stuff from Japan or whatever, probably just from a local shop in the area. But he had like a shiny, like, hollow foil card of this image, and he sold it to me, and I used to carry that around in my wallet. So that's what came to my mind when I saw that picture there. Yeah, Sailor Moon was actually the first anime I ever watched. But later on, I think Dragon Ball was probably my second. And I watched Sailor Moon when it was on the USA Network here in America. And I guess Dragon Ball was on there too, but for some reason I didn't see that when it was on. Put over here. Cool Superman statue there. That Daily Planet globe would be much bigger though. But that's okay. Sephiroth. It's not focusing. $90. I still gotta mainly buy the Batman animated figures. That's my main thing I have to, or made a priority out of collecting. There's a lot of cool figures and stuff though, but in my head, if I can't even buy the Batman animated stuff, which I really want to collect, then I probably shouldn't be trying to get other random statues and stuff. This Rocketeer here looks pretty cool. Oh, I guess they're all 20 each. Well, I might end up getting that then. I always loved the movie when I was a little kid that they put out. And I guess the same guy who directed that directed the first Captain America movie too. Joe Johnston, I believe. seemed like there was a lot of merchandise in this month's catalog, like figures and stuff. Alright, let's move on to the DC previews. Looks like they've upped their presentation here. That's got perfect bounding, I believe, or square bounding. I forget which one. So right out of the gate, you see they're promoting their new horror line. Which I'm sure will interest some of you. And then they're talking about the Year of the Villain stuff and the peel back covers here. And there's a part later on in the book where it shows those in more detail. So they're doing like a lot of specials in here, I guess. It's like this is one here, the Batman's Grave 12-part maxi series by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, which I'm sure will not maintain a monthly release. He usually starts okay, and then, you know, his level of detail he does in his work tends to make it not complete in a month. And we have the Year's the Villain Joker special is actually written, co-written by John Carpenter here. So that's kind of a big deal. It's just a $5 one shot. And then we have, this was one of my first Batman stories I ever saw. When I first saw the artwork for this, it was on a little viewfinder thing where you put it in your eyes and you clicked a little handle and it would change the picture. And this issue right here is what was presented to me. So, but I will be getting this because this has the original coloring. I have the updated Neil Adams collection, but he recolored everything, so I want to have the old presentation for it. And then we see another special here, a 9-part series, Joker and Harley, Criminal Sanity. So there's actually 2 mini-series coming out. I'm not going to be able to get all these because there's so many. I can't commit to the 12 and then the 9 and then another 3. So this one is the Joker Killer Smile. And this is a 3-part series, written by Jeff Lemire, drawn by Andrea Sorrentino. And it sounds like it might not even be officially the Joker. They talk about Mr. Smiles and stuff here. Basically, a therapist tries to work with the Joker and get to the bottom of what no one else can. But I think he has his own unresolved issues himself. And then I'm not sure what this is, The Last God. It is a mature rated book. Looks like an adult, like, fantasy book. Then we go into the normal stuff here. Apparently the Metal Men are coming back. Superman smashes the Klan. It's based off an old radio serial where basically they had some information about people who were in the Ku Klux Klan, and they had details on the show that actually helped discourage people from joining them in real life. So it's pretty neat. So I don't know what that one will be about, if it's fully like verbatim from that old show, or it'll be slightly different. We see here there's going to be more multiverse stuff. We have a multiverse take on Nightfall and the death of Superman. I will be picking those up. And then I guess they're trying to do a lot of deceased variants this month too. It's gonna be October, so it does make sense. And then it's gonna wrap in this month too. A lot of them getting both the covers. Looks like Ramita Jr. will be doing the Batman covers for a little bit too. But they're releasing issues 5 and 6 in the same month. Because when I saw that initially, I got confused. I was just like, well, I think I have issue number 3 is the last one I got. So I was like, is it really still going to be out at that time or not? But I guess 1 month will be without one probably. This one I'm getting the Harleen. It's a 3-part series in the Black Label line. But I can't get all of them, unfortunately. And they'll probably, collect them into a bigger book anyway. I think DC is just trying to figure out what the market really wants right now. And I think they're aware of we like prestige format stuff, but if you have too much of it coming out at the same time, that makes it hard to buy it all. And then DC's doing the dollar comics thing too. Nightfall and Death of Superman. Might get those for my kids. I have my own copies, of the trades. But, those 2 stories definitely inspired me a lot as a kid. So yeah, here we see the acetate covers. It's like I don't know if it'll be a plastic, like just one sheet to just turn, or it'll be an actual peel off. Hopefully it won't be a peel off situation, but 2 images on them. Basically the main cover shows the villains victorious, and underneath shows what happened to the heroes to make the villains victorious. And we see our trades here, and I might get this, I don't know. The 1989 Batman movie adaptation by Jerry Ordway. It'll be a hardback and have extra stuff in it. And we move on to the Marvel book. Not a random specials and stuff. Hickman starts the official #1 of X-Men. Excalibur. Marauders. I'll just be following the main X book. And then I believe New Mutants will be written by Hickman too. I'll probably pick that up. And they're the spotlight of the True Believers month. All these books are $1 and they're all reprints. I would say out of these, the main one you'd pick up here would be the reprinting of the Days of Future Past. It says Pyro there. I don't remember Pyro being a main part of that story, but it's been a while since I read it, so. And I believe this is Apocalypse's first appearance. Yeah. I'll be picking up these, the facsimiles. I love that it's, all the same art and like the ads and everything. Because, there's no way I'll ever have either of these. And I mean, even if you did, you're not gonna turn through them. You would keep them in your CGC thing or, put away somewhere and not to be looked at other than knowing you have it, because they're so valuable. But these are great because, you get to experience the time capsule. Continuing the J.J. Abrams story there. Absolute Carnage. I can't wait for this to start. Of course, I don't care about all the shoehorned mini series here. I forgot that Osborn here was the Red. I think it's Red Goblin. Is that what they're calling him? Mary Jane's gonna get her own series. So this is a random $10 Spider-Man giant-sized book about him doing a S.H.I.E.L.D. mission. I'll probably be skipping that even though it's showing a lot of talent on there. I don't know, $10 for a one-shot is kind of insane. And it's not an annual or anything, it's just they wanted to do a book, so they put out a book. Spider-Man 32 starts Patrick Gleason's interior art on Spider-Man. And bringing back the Marvel Zombies. So one shot about the Red Goblin. Might pick that up, I don't know. Grand design for Fantastic Four. The previous series was for the X-Men, so that's pretty much like a compressed version of the history of the Fantastic Four. Doctor Doom is gonna have his own mini-series. I might get that. I'm really close to picking that up. Although I haven't been crazy with the recent Fantastic Four issues. They've just been kind of throwaway issues, But that's with all of them because of their War of Realms tie-ins, And there's this event called Contagion. It's a 5-part miniseries. I'll probably be skipping that too. I'm excited to pick up King Thor. And it's marketed as Jason Aaron's final Thor story. And enjoying Silver Surfer Black for sure. I keep contemplating picking Daredevil up again. I really like him as a hero too. But it's hard to beat what Bendis and Mayliv did together on them. Casada's art book there. Collected version of the Peter David Greg Land story. $16. It's not too bad. I'm showing all the trades for the Immortal Hulk. If you haven't been following the series, definitely probably one of the best books Marvel has out right now. So I recommend you get that if you haven't already. Alright, well that's going to do it for now. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.